Good morning. You guys hear me in YouTube land? Please let me know. TRS, thank you. Thank you, Jim. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Do this disclaimer real quick.
Risk disclosure statement. There is a risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, forex, and cryptocurrencies. This risk can be substantial, and therefore investors should heavily consider their financial stability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategies, chat rooms, websites, and any associated websites or digital venues are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as an express or implied promise or guarantee that you will profit or that losses may be limited in any manner whatsoever. Users of the information accept full responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment in both Stops and Trader, LLC, and any associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers regardless of reservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations, some of which are described herein. No representation is being made that any account will is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical or simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading report can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or adhere to a particular trading program in spite of trading losses are material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results may have or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to markets in general or to implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in simulated trading or in the preparation of hypothetical performance results at all, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
This trade room and its webinars are not intended to mirror my trades or to give specific trade recommendation. The analysis of I share trades and potential trades that I take for myself based on my personal analysis. With all the sorts of trades, I identify specific areas of trading and themselves, but ultimately the decision is yours. Trading is extremely risky. You decide if all the personal trades you do so at your own risk and can potentially lose your entire company and more. And now it's profitable when I have 15 drawdowns on my trading accounts. The spreadsheet I have access to is my personal spreadsheet that I use to enter zone values and ATR values and I'll need to avoid exact prices for my trades. You can see when I enter zone prices into the master spreadsheet as well as prices every trade, whether you want to go long or short. You have the ability to copy the spreadsheet and enter your own values and use mine to confirm zone prices until you're able to draw the zones for yourself. The spreadsheet is not telling you which direction to trade as it has extra prices and inside long short positions depending on which one you personally decide. All right, good morning. So, markets continue to go crazy. Today is Russell's turn. Russell NYM, but Russell's like off the charts here. I just took a short here a little bit ago. Izzy short, took a loss on that. But I am watching this zone. You know, these are the best inflection zone, aka Izzy trades, where you get straight moves into these volume get volume events into these straight moves with volume events into my important areas. So these are important areas. You know, Russell basically broke out of that guy, broke through that guy. So we have a trade for that, not necessarily today, but this is a called Breaking Bad, where you break out of the current balance through the high volume, note a prior balance, and you get volume events. You can take those aggressively. This is a bigger picture one, but that's exactly what happened here. You know, I'll still short these zones. If I get a volume event and it turns bearish, I take them. And I got one there, took it, lost. If I got another one up there, I'll take it again. So I'm just eyeballing that. There was some ice right here. This is not quite in the zone yet, though, so I'm not going to do anything off of this. I mean, it's actually pretty close. I'll take that back. Let me turn this down. I mean, this zone, though, is not near that. The price got near the zone, so I'll wait for one more if we get something else. So the bizarre world continues where Russell's off the page, and then ES and NQ are finally, not going. So anyway, I'm watching up here. If this turns into a bullish event, I can take Barks and Licks long. Those are my trading strategies I'm referring to. I know there's a lot of new traders on here, but so these are my trading strategies that I trade. All these are important areas that I look for stop iceberg events, which are the driver of futures markets, in my opinion. The best edge you can ever have in trading. So keep an eye on Russell there. Yes, this was into the numbers, some sell ice, surprise spies, came back to the zone. I actually took some reversion trades. We'll talk about that. It took forever, but it finally got back up here. Speaking of reversion trades, I hope my room took this one in gold. So we were short gold. I'm still short a little gold. Speaking of Izzy zones, this was Izzy and a slug. So we had to move directly into the zone. Volume event took it. So that's why I take them all, right? You don't know which ones are going to work. So you have your rules and you take the trade. So anyway, we had this, took some torture, more came in, sell ice and a stop run, and then I got here and I told my room I was getting out of some at this prior event. This was the reversion 3 A plus entry. So if you guys took that, that was golden right there. So hopefully you guys took that. Other than that, I'm still short some gold. My stop's up here. So if it comes up, then I'll stop out of the rest of them. I got out of some down here on that move down. But this is why I get out at these areas, because these markets respond to these prior events. So that is looking like it's going to rip off the page. And I think we got the setup here in Russell that I was looking for. So now there's a way, you know, if this fails, I can take the Izzy short I just talked about, right? Inflection zone short. But there's also a way I can still go long this event and trail my stop to that event. So we always default to the most recent event. As long as this doesn't touch this ATR line, which would make this a bearish setup, I can still go long that. So I'll be back here in a second. I'm going to see what's going on in NQ. That's the majority of traders like trading this NQ, so there's been some sell stops. Just want to see where we're at. Looks like we might be heading into an Izzy zone here the other way. Not yet, not quite there. So this is yesterday. We had a selling tail and then directional conviction. So I'm looking for, if there is an event there, I will happily go long, because that's all it ever does is go up. But as of right now, Algo Guy is bearish. This is my filter for my bark and lick trades. So bark and lick trades are basically, you know, I said a little earlier that all these trading strategies are my important areas where I look for SI events. Well, the bark and lick are just literally taking trades off of the SI events in a vacuum, pretty much, right? Because they don't have to be important areas. And the reason I do that is because these are inherently an edge in their own right? So, but to take those, I need Algo Guy in my direction, meaning this is just an exponential moving average. Longer term and shorter term. If this is in the direction of the trade bark and lick, then I will take it. All right, so that is now an official short in NQ. I know that's crazy talk, but it is. It's actually pulling back for once. So if we do this, I will put on barks and licks. Let's see if there's, I'm sure there's liquidity down here, because maybe not. So I'm looking for longer term liquidity. I would not put a lick trade on if it goes here, here, and back. I wouldn't put it on right here at this entry point for liquidity right here. That's not a good risk reward, obviously. I'm not seeing a lot down here. So yeah, so there's no lick trade here for me. There's no long-term resting liquidity. So I can put out a bark short. Let's see where we are in the bigger picture, and then we'll go over some of this other stuff in this document here. So I got nothing. There's nothing here. I trade these other important areas: market profile, composites. There's quite a ways away from the most recent one. This was just yesterday's trade, and then Ludwig levels. It's just built new lugs to the downside. So this is the next major Ludwig level, or this one. I will take trades at. So nothing there. So however they got going here on the short side is a potential bark trade. If I want to take that, I'm waiting for a retest confirm, because those are my rules for the bark trade. Bark blind ATR retest confirm. Trade any trade on SI volume event that has an ATR retest confirm, and it needs Algo Guide filter confirmation. So, all right, let's see what's going on. Russell is just off of the charts today, and you can see here too. I mean, the big money's playing today, obviously, after the CPI. This is off the charts. So you had like, what is that, 15, 20 times normal volume in Russell, right? So because when you get this kind of relative volume, you can expect these types of moves, right? That's nuts. See, it's kind of dying down here in NQ and ES, and that's why you're getting that kind of trade. But this is, they're loading up on these small cap stocks. It doesn't matter. I mean, I still trade my areas, and I still trade my methods, right? My rules for my SI events. All right, so there was nothing to do on the short side off of this event. That's why I'm not short, because algo guy's bullish for now. It looks like it may try to pull. Then I can possibly take shorts, which would just elate me to be able to short these markets. We do have a no stop event here right now too. So first step is to see where we're at in my important areas. Nothing doing with Izzy's inflection zones. Let's take a look at nothing doing here. So there's no market profile composites for me here to short either, right? Obviously all-time highs, and none of these merged. That was not merged. No merge. No merge. No merge. So there's nothing market profile composite. The only days that were merged, that's what the composites are. Value areas of days merged is way down here. Other than that, nothing really here. Lugs are there. So there's really nothing for me to do on the short side here. I could take potential longs off of this because algo guy's bullish as of right now. So we'll keep an eye on that. Get some tick strike going here. So got some buy ice here too in Mr. NASDAQ. Trying to see what happened to this chart. Good old think or swim. Such garbage. It's just such a garbage platform. I've got to switch one of these days. All right, so this is an Izzy zone, right? I was ready to take a long, but this volume event has now proven bearish. How do I judge that? If the market's able to push an ATR out of the volume event. So, now you're starting to get all these pukes for all these jackass longs that have been loading up for the last however many days. And it kind of sucks I can't participate yet, but if we get a retest confirm of one of these, I can do it. So I just sit here and wait. There's nothing for me to do right here. And now we have another stop run. Sell stop, sell stop, sell stop. So I'm just waiting for my conditions to potentially short this market. Other than that, this is... No, that's through the Izzy zone too. Actually, I gotta fix this zone here. This is not right. So hopefully my room's watching. Let me get this fixed because we are approaching a potential Izzy zone. Not sure how I missed this, but I did. So you had buying tail, and a gap up here, right? So I would incorporate all the, so we're right there. So the stop run is in Izzy zone. So if this turns into a bullish event, I'm going to take an Izzy long. There you go. So if this turns bullish, I can take a long. The issue here is my entry point would be right in the middle of this prior event. So I will move it out of there about 12 points. And so this is the zone drawing tool. Let me post this as well. Sorry. So I'll post this in the YouTube channel. We'll go over all this stuff here eventually. But the zone drawing tool is the newest thing we're using here, and I used to draw these zones by hands. When we get an SI event on the sub chart, I would draw them by hands. Now it draws automatically. It's a game changer, obviously. I don't spend half my life drawing zones. And this is also, it's a combination of the zone drawer and my spreadsheet, right? So I used to have to put all these in manually as well. When I get a zone, I put the zone prices in, the current ATR, my risk, how much I want to risk on a trade, my account size, how much I want to risk per trade, and then it would tell me the exact amount of contracts to trade, right? Well, now this is all on the chart. As long as the ATR is correct, we'll just double check that. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, so it's right on. You can see the 5-minute ATR is 31.86, which means it's just rotating about 30. Now it's 32 points every 5 minutes. You can see it right there. So I could trade right off of this chart as far as all my numbers. I don't need to use a spreadsheet. All right, so this is another short here. Very disappointing. I'm not participating in the sell-off because that's all I ever want to do is watch these longs get their asses handed to them. But you know, just my conditions for this trade were not met unless I missed an Izzy up here. I don't think I did. All right, now my bookmap's frozen. Hold on a second. Yeah, there wasn't really anything. This was way above. This is pre-market, so no, there is nothing for me to short this. You know, that sucks for me, but I have my rules and my strategies, so there'll be plenty of opportunities, right? Eventually, this will pause. It'll come back, and maybe I'll have a chance to short then too. All right, let's see what else is firing off here while they get upset about missing Nasdaq. Got some Russell. We had crude too. Sorry, I didn't hear the crude. We'll go over there. Crude wasn't an important area yesterday. We'll see where it's at now. Some more buy ice here in NQ. Come on. See if this is still in this Izzy zone. It is. I mean, it poked its head below, but I was still taking Izzy long here. And this is what we just drew. We just drew this new one. It's where this market gapped. It's back into this balance, the top of this balance and this balance. These are the best Izzy's 2 straight moves. So, you know. But you see, like we're at one of my important areas. You don't just see me jumping in along, right? I wait for the most important thing, the SI event, to validate long. So if this does hold here, validate long, I can go long at 20758, and I can put on a whopping 2 micros. So I will put that in. That this, but there's a couple different setups here I can take. I could take that Izzy long. There's your entry. That's the yellow line. There's still a way I can go short that event if this does that, as long as this event doesn't touch the ATR, which would make this bullish, right? So a couple things at play here. We'll see how this reacts to this latest zone. If it pops up here, I'm long at Izzy 2058.75 right now. You got to keep adjusting it too until you get the fill. Quite a ways away, but ATR is very heightened. So, all right, so that is working. That comes back 59.25 now. So all I got working right now is the Izzy long. Like I said, if this happens to come back, tag this, I could take Barks and see if there's any liquidity. There was no liquidity before. Let's see if there's any now. There's some here, but that's too close to my entry. So I'm still not seeing a lot of liquidity below here. So what does that tell me? It probably tells me we're going to come back up. You know, if there's no resting orders below there, it's probably going to turn around and eventually come tag this stuff. So we'll see. Just a guess, have no idea. That's why we just trade what's in front of us. Instead of trying to guess what the markets are going to do, you trade what you see. All right, so this event has never retested NES. They're just hammering this stuff finally. You know, this is what we need as day traders. Just, you know, some sellers to step into the market. Then we'll get some volatility and it's tradable instead of just grind up every day for months and months and months. So even though I'm not participating yet, this is a good thing for what I do, what we do, right? You can see Algo Guy's about to cross here too. So there is a potential because, so this is another strategy when Algo Guy crosses, you got all those, that we call it, because those algos jump in on that trade. This is a Algo Guy cross with heavy relative volume trade. Aggressive. Take any trade during or just after an Algo Guy cross with heavy relative volume. 200% or more. So that's happening right now. So if that, we get another event, you can see right here, right? So if we get another event, I can take that. Russell's just going crazy. And I could potentially take a red rum here too if it comes back. So we'll go over that if it comes back. So keep an eye here. But again, there was nothing for me to do short off of this event per my rules, per my strategies. So I'm just waiting, sitting in the weeds like a sniper, waiting to blow someone's head off. That's what I'm doing. That's the analogy I like to use. All right, more sell ice here in Russell. My buddy Russell. Here's the Izzy zone. I will take this short. Scary as can be, right? But if this turns bearish, I'm taking the short. 23.9, I could put on 7. So again, I'm trading, these are the micros for these account sizes for these Apex. We'll go over Apex later. If you're trading normal size, you just times it times 10. I'm sorry, this is the actual regular E-mini product, so it's 0.7. You obviously can't trade 0.7 of a regular product. So I'm trading micros, and you just times it times 10, so I can put on 7 micros. And if your accounts are small, there's no reason to be just putting on a one lot. Trade 10 micros, and you can get out of some at certain areas, right? Instead of all or nothing. All right, 23.8. There's my entry here. All right, so that comes back. I will put that on. We are at blue lug in ES, so if I did get a stop event or buy ice event, I can go long aggressively. There's just been nothing down here yet, so I'm sure something else is coming. This is the other thing, guys. You don't have to chase markets. There's another setup right around the corner. So I missed this for now. I'm waiting for now. We're at an important area where I can potentially go long. We're at the blue lug. We're at this Izzy zone. So if I got something, I would take it long. We'll see. But this is another example. I know how powerful these Ludwig levels are. I will not take it long without a volume event or anything, any area that I'm looking at. So very good likelihood it does bounce off of here. That's fine. I need my trigger, which is the SI volume event, Stop Iceberg volume event, which is something real time happening right now. And, what was I just looking at here? Uh-oh. Why did my guy just cut off? Oh, this is a pick trade too. So we got a volume event at the top of this. I got to go in and put some more in it. I obviously don't have that updated because when we roll, I lose all my composite drawings. Anyway, volume event, I can take a pick short here too. Russell. 21.24 now. Quiet. We got a number coming out? Oh, no, that's natural gas. All right, that's working as well. So potential Izzy, pick shorts, pick is a profiles encourage is the name of the. It's the name of the strategy. It's literally named after because of market profile. Get it? And this is a book from John F. Kennedy. Made it a funny name, memorable name. Take any trade that moves in and out of a market profile composite high or low. Trade could be taken to market moves in because of, so that we don't have to worry about that right now. We'll cover that, but this is a straight move to the market profile composite high, right there. So I will take that short as well. Let's see what we got going on here. So let's see here. You got to refresh these things. There should be new lugs here, I would assume. There you go. New Ludwig levels. You can see what's happening here for as far as a shorter term thesis. So if this bounces, I would expect it to roll back up. If it gets inside here, the rule of thumb is you expect the other side. So we'll see. I still don't have a trade on, right? But this is an important area if I get a volume event. Let's see where we're at here. So this is buy ice. So I can take a pick long here. And an Izzy long, right? No, Izzy kind of busted through there. So no Izzy for me here, but I can take a pick long if this bounces. As long as this didn't validate to the short side, it may have already shorted or validated. Let's see. So this will tell you, the zone drawer will also tell you if it validated. Yeah, I don't see a validation. So that just missed validating, meaning hitting the ATR. So I can still take a long. If this were to validate short, then I cannot take longs. They're my rules. It's from watching thousands and thousands and thousands of these. So that's the whole idea of listening to me, on the Bookmap webinars in my trade room. You're getting the benefit of it not having to watch thousands of these to come up with, how these tend to react, right? So That's the beauty of listening to me. Not that I've never said one time that you can't come in here and trade these your own way, right? All I'm saying is I've pretty much seen it, done it, and this is the best way that I've determined to trade these, is to wait for ATR validations, wait for it to get outside an ATR before you enter. Once you enter, put your stop outside of the volume event, outside of an ATR the other way, right? That just helps get you out of the way of the algo nonsense so you don't get whipsawed to death, which is what these algos are here to do, take your money, right? So it behooves you, especially if you're just learning this, to listen to how I trade them and mirror that, not mirror my trades, mirror my methods, and then as you get better and more experience, you can come up with your own variations, right? All right, so if this pops out here, I'm going to take a pick long at 2076.75. Profiles encourage trade. And I can put on a whopping deuce. And that's just, it's the volatility combined with the size of the zone. That's how much, if I want to risk, with this risking $500 on the trade on these Apex accounts that have, each one has a designated, each strategy has a designated Apex account associated with it. That's how much I can risk. If I want to risk $500, so all you do is, in the zone drawing tool, so you can see here, you can plug in all this stuff yourself. All right, it's got zones right here. Put your risk, put your capital, and what you want to risk, and then it'll adjust all of this for you. It's awesome. Trader in my trader room, Johan, developer, brilliant dude, developed it. 759 is my entry. All right, that's working. Longs in plays there. Excuse me. You got some soy oil stuff. I'm not going to trade that right now. Natural gas number just came out. And it looks like Russell's starting to pull back a little bit. Let's see. Because now it trades inversely to the S&P and NASDAQ, which is kind of nutty, but that it does. I know they're small caps, but I take that back. I thought this was going the other way. All right, so, if this turns into a bullish setup, I can take Barks and Licks long. Yeah, it feels terrible, right? You're like, oh my God, this thing can't go any further up. It sure can. It can keep going and going and going, just like these markets have. How many people have lost their savings, their life savings, saying this can't go any further, right? So, and that's not even close to what it's done, right? So, never think markets can't keep going, because they can keep going. So you trade what you see. So if I get a bullish setup here, I will take Barks and Licks long. If there's liquidity up here. Let's see if there's liquidity up here. Yeah, there is. I'll take that. That's good enough for me, right? All right, so now we got some more sell ice coming in, but on this event, I can take the long. Barks and Licks. If that comes back, we'll see how this develops. There's your new event. So once again, we have a couple different things we can do here. Now we got NQ steps too. So we'll go over what I'm going to do there too. So anyway, I'll still take a short here if this turns into a bearish setup, this guy. And I can still go longs off of this. So you see, it will show me the entry point for the new event. So I can still take an Izzy long. I can short 7 micros. I'm sorry, an Izzy short. I can short 7 there. If it happens to do this, I can still take longs off of that, as long as this one doesn't qualify as a short, right? And then I can do the same with that guy. So you can see on days that you get trending moves, you can keep adding to the trade, right? Say it does that, I'm long. Then you get that, I put another long on based on that, and I'm just trailing my stop to the most recent event. So we'll see what happens here. Right now, 2128.8. I don't think this is a pick anymore. Now let's do the pick. Let's see where else we're at here, because I know this is a while ago, but let's see here. So it's a single day. This is a single day. This is a single day. So when you get something like this, right, there's stuff coming in NQ, as you can see here, but it's all in the same zone. So I still have my long working here, and then we can adjust to what's going on here in a second. So I'm going to merge these three here to make a composite profile. Merge, merge, and then draw the composite. So let's see if that's anywhere. You can see this reacted here and moved out back then. That was back in February. So here we are right here. So I could take, if this moves back out of here, I could take a pick short too, because the entry would be back outside here, I believe. Right? 2128.8, that would be my 2128.8, that would be my entry. Yeah, that would be just outside that. And it would be basically almost back inside this one, so I'll take a pick short as well if this turns bearish, right? So I'll put that in, pick in Izzy shorts. 2128.8. All right, I'm still short gold. It's kind of just sitting there. Been short for like 2 hours. Those are working. So depending on what happens here, this thing just free falls. I'm just going to be short. If it bounces off this guy, I'm going to take barks and licks long. And now we get the landscaping dudes outside my window. That's awesome. Good timing, guys. Just to upset me a little more. All right, so we got some of this. Sorry, guys, you got to listen to that. I had no idea. I don't even think it's my house. It's the neighbor's house. The landscaping indicator, landscaping dude indicator. All right, so remember we're going long, potentially long off of this iceberg event. And then you got stop runs, icebergs here. This is a delayed double whammy, kind of weird how it just in the middle of nowhere, but you had sell stops in the buy ice. So I'm just gonna make this one zone because it's basically still in the same exact zone. This is a new event. Let's change that. Adjust these zones, obviously, with the F keys. Oh, is that annoying? It's the sounds of summer, yeah. All right, so that's almost exactly in the zone, but I'll still take a long off of this original event, which would still be taking a long off of this, but I can. It's basically the same exact thing because this has not qualified either way yet, so. It's basically the same exact thing. So I'll still take that Izzy long, or I mean the pick long, and then we'll see what happens here. This is, Algo guy is bearish, so I can take barks and licks. But all that activity is basically in the same exact area, so we'll see what happens here. Is this a red rum? Not really. 15. Yeah, I guess you could take a red rum here. But a red rum is a volume event back into the red ribbon. But that event is bullish, so I can still take a red rum, but I need to see the traditional ATR retest confirm. I wouldn't take a red rum aggressive, meaning first move out of this zone, because these events are inherent. These are bullish events, right? Sell stops are usually bullish because it's just short-term traders or retail traders puking, and then you had buy ice. So I could take a red rum short here, as well as barks and licks if this turns bearish, but I need to see ATR retest confirmed for all three of those, so we'll see what happens. Nothing to do there yet. Still haven't gotten a retest of this zone in ES. What was that annoying? And I forgot about crude. Let's see if I'm missing a trade here. This was an Izzy. Right in the zone, buying tail, buying tail, buying tail. This area, this market held where it should have yesterday. It was looking over the abyss. That broke that high volume node. I said, watch out. It's a failed breakdown or breakout. And then a breakout of that. Right? Held, balance, holding. So I need to be long Izzy right now. 82.17. I'm not going to chase it. If it comes back to 82.17, I'll put on 10 micros, or you can put on one contract, but put on 10 micros. Izzy long, crude. Wow, is that annoying. Sorry, guys. So I should have been long 82.15. No, that's not right. Hold on. Yeah, 82.15. You see how the trading guys just mess with me? They're trying to rattle me with the guys, with the tree trimmer dudes. All right. So I got long. I'm not chasing that. So if it comes back, which it probably will, because crude is one of the #1 markets to come back to these zones, I will get long. That's an aggressive trade. Going long there. Let's see if there was a pick here as well. No pick trade here, I don't think. Yeah, no pick. It's trying to bust back out of this, which is telling you something too. So thesis, I come up with a thesis based on bar charts, my zones, and the structure, and then thesis with this. So what is this telling you? Well, broke into here. Markets, what did we say earlier? Have a tendency, they should get to the other side. If it doesn't, it's telling you something. It bounced off that other one, and now it's looking to get back out of here. So that's bullish in its own right. And then, what you got here, come up with a thesis with the Ludwig levels. I'm about to lose my mind here. This noise. Drew new lugs to the downside, but if it's truly bearish, it should hold prior blue directional yellow, then you expect next blue. Well, it didn't do that. It held. Now you expect red. So that's bullish looking. That's about to be bullish looking. And then we saw the structure stuff, that's bullish looking. So I could trade double size longs here off of this event. Of course, it's not going to come back for me right now. But if it comes back, I'll put on double size longs. So I just missed this trade because I was talking about other stuff. So if it comes back, I'm filled. I'm not chasing it. All right, yes, let's see if the algo guy is pulled here. It's starting to pull right now. So still waiting for a retest, confirm, then I'll be able to go short, right? I could potentially put on Bark, Lick, and Red Rum shorts. The algo guy's pulling. If it does one of these, so it would be here, 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 and when it came back, it's still going to be pulling short. So I'll put on shorts here too, based off this event. If that retest, if it doesn't, then I do nothing. I just wait. Let's take a look at Hero here. Hero's on its lows. That's why it's not wide. This is one player in the market, these options dealers, but it's usually a big player, especially lately. They've been running the show because nothing's been going on except for them. You can see Mag 7 Hero on its lows, 1.8 billion. S&P almost 3 billion. So you can see here, like when this moves $1 billion notional, the S&P, that's a big move. Well, you see it's moved 3 billion, right? And that's why you get this. Again, they're not the only players in here, but they are a big player. Options dealers have to hedge. They're getting loaded up with bullish or bearish options. They got to turn around and sell futures, right? So that's what that is. Right? So it can help you. You can come up with your own strategy just based on this thing, like divergences, so on and so forth. So also, any questions, throw them in the YouTube. Rocky Crip, it looks like your IZ zone act like supply and demand or initiative zones. Yeah, I mean, they're not necessarily supply and demand. I mean, I guess they are in a way, but yeah, they're initiative zones. They're important areas on the bar chart based on structure, right? So these zones are based on the 4 important areas of trading. I mean, of structure. So tops and bottoms of balance areas. Right, there's a zone there. I just change it. Once it changes or trades through these areas, then I change the zones. But tops and this isn't a good chart to do because it's just been a complete grind up. Here, I'll show you. Let's look at gold. Which I'm still short, by the way. You gotta think or swim. One of these days, I'm going to switch. Hopefully soon. So I was long double-sized gold yesterday, and it came back on me. I had a nice profit, and because my thesis was long, and now, of course, today is the day that it finally did it. But this definitely looks bullish. You know, could pause right here. I'm short off of this Izzy zone, like we talked about, but overall, this looks pretty damn bullish. You know, for bigger picture stuff. Anyway, I draw these zones. Here's a good example, just the most recent stuff. Tops and bottoms of balance areas. See, that's balance. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. There's so many times other things happen in the same thing. So this was, or the same area. So tops and bottoms of balance areas. High volume nodes of balance areas. I don't draw the high volume nodes by themselves because there'd be too many areas on the chart. If something happened in that area, as far as the high volume node, I would draw it. Right. So you can see here, like this was one. And then the high volume node, I'm sure at the time I had one. And then there was a buying tail here. The tops and bottoms of balance areas, high volume nodes of balance areas, and then directional conviction, and buying and selling tails. Buying tail there, buying tail there. Gaps are also directional conviction. So those are the four important areas that I draw these zones. And the markets react to them with ridiculous regularity. So I look for those areas, I look for volume events in those areas. And that's all I do. And I have my rules for the volume events. And then I'm consistently putting the stuff on and getting out when I'm supposed to, not hoping, so on and so forth. All right, so this is a bearish setup in Mr. NQ. We get a retest confirm. I could put on bark. There's still no lick down here though, right? I mean, if you really, really, really want to do, you could trade at that liquidity. That's just not enough for me. I'm not really seeing, and this is not very long term either. So I can put on barks. What else do we say here? There's this pick. So here's a good example, right? I'm not putting on this crude now. Why? So I missed it, of course. Doesn't come back. It comes back 99.9999% of the time. At least screws around. Don't get filled. So I just cost myself 40 plus ticks here. Why am I not going to put this on if it's coming back? Well, because I would already be out of my trade here, probably most of them, because we're at the red lug. Confluent with daily value area. High daily value area is just one standard deviation of VWAP. So anyway, I missed the trade, of course. Doesn't come back, of course. I've been very pessimistic lately. Sorry, pardon my world is against me talk, but it's uncanny how often that happens. So no trade there. I missed it. I would have been out here, most of them at the red lug. I would try to judge, based on, we have certain things we look at in important areas, obviously the SI events, but you take a look at, we have market pulse, we'll go over that when we get a chance. It tells you if there's extreme buying or selling, so I would try to give this a chance to blow through, and then of course I got tick strike here too. If it's real quiet at these areas, then you want to get out because the buyers are not engaging. So right here, I probably would be out at 3/4 of them. I give it a chance just because we talked about how bullish it is. But missed that trade, so that was not, it's my own fault. I just didn't get over here in time. All right, we got some buy ice here in ES. So step one, you wait for your volume event. Here you go, large. Oh, by the way, right at the close yesterday, there was 9,000 buy ice. I wonder if they knew what the number was going to be today. I think I have a screenshot of that. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, right here. So 9,000 after the close and into the actual close at 2 o'clock. So 9,000 buys, 84 to 83.50. So it didn't work out for them though. I mean, it did originally, it did rip, but they didn't get much out of it. They got like 20 points. This sell ice was probably them getting out. You're never gonna know, guys. That's the whole thing. Like, stop wasting your time trying to be like, well, what are they trying to do here? Are they initiating? Are they hedging? Are they getting out of position? you're never going to know. Just know the area is important, right? So anyway, that was into the number. They did catch 25 points on it. If that's what they were doing, who knows? All I know, the area was important, and it ripped off of there into the number. So now we got buy ice here. This is pretty large. This is almost 3,000 right here, right? What does that mean? Not a lot. I mean, paper is usually, they're right more than, I shouldn't say usually, they're right more than they're wrong. Paper meaning the big money. That's why they have to hide their orders, because they can't, if they came in here, look at this order book. If they came in here right now and put a 3,000 lot in, what do you think the market would do? What do you think these algos would do? They would rip it off the page trying to get this order to chase the orders. And then so what they do is they put their offers in, right? They get this order to chase. They get filled on their offers, and then the market comes back, right? So that's why the big money uses icebergs. Very important to know this. Don't you think it's important to know that 3,000 buy icebergs just came in here? So does it mean it's just going to rocket up? No, it has more of a tendency to do that because paper could have another 20,000 behind them. You don't know. The point is, what is important is the area. So somebody sold into these. You can see these market selling bubbles, right? The red bubbles. Somebody's going to be right here. Somebody's going to be wrong. That's where you get your bigger moves, and that's what we take advantage of. It's that simple. It's not easy. Trading's not easy, but I simplify it as much as possible. You can see here, right in this Izzy zone, I will take an Izzy long off of this. 72 quarter, I could put on 7. I don't have an opinion as far as we just looked at like crude. I had a long opinion. I would trade double size. This I'm not going to trade double size, but I will go long at 71.75. All right, that's working. Actually, that's the wrong market or the wrong account. Hold on. So that's one area. We have an Izzy, potential Izzy long. See if we got any market profile stuff. I'm about to get stopped out of the rest of those gold. What are we looking at here? All right, so this is a I lug you too, right? What's an I lug you? Iceberg at lug. Take any fade trade with an iceberg event into a major lug. We're at blue. The iceberg if the iceberg corresponds with the lug, sell ice at red, buy ice at blue. Well, we've got 3,000 buy ice at the blue lug. But you see, I'm not just jumping in a trade here. I still need to see this qualify, because from watching thousands and thousands of these, I've determined your odds are not best just jumping in when you see this. Yes, your risk reward is better, but I want to see it confirm out of here, aka get an ATR out, and then I go long just outside an ATR. Yes, I'm costing myself an extra however many points, but again, guys, it's from watching thousands of these. If you want to jump in longs right here at the lug with 3,000 buys, be my guest. I'm just telling you, over the long run, the better way to do it is wait for this to push an ATR plus 15%, I think we have it, and get in the trade there, right? And then I force it, if I'm going to be wrong, it's got to come back through that. It's got to come back an ATR, back through the event, and another ATR out. And then I say, uncle, I'm wrong. That stops me from getting algoed, right? So again, you can hop in right here. If you're feeling frisky, if you think all these things, it's just going to keep going up, then get long. I have my rules and I follow them. Entry is now at 72. All right, that's working. Is there anything else here? Is there a pick? I don't think there can't be a pick because there's been no profile composites. All right, so that's working. If this turns into a bearish setup, then I can take Barkin Lake shorts. Right? Because Algo guy is bearish for right now. So I take slugs, Izzy's. I just stopped out of my rest of my gold. That's not cool. Hold on. But I got out where I was supposed to. All right. So anyway, Izzy's, slugs, market profile composites. I don't use algo guy filter. Yes, this is important, but this is pretty. This can flip back and forth many times in a day. Yes, it's important, but it's not as important as Ludwig levels, Izzy's, so on and so forth. So my point is, I will go long this I lug you strategy, even though algo guide's bearish. If this turns bearish, again, I don't know yet until it tags an ATR either way. If it tags the ATR to the downside, it's a bearish event, and then I'm going to take barks and potentially licks below. So again, I don't see any lick below here either. So we got above. We'll read spot gamma here in a second here. Hold on. I'm not seeing a ton of lick above either, but there's more lick above than below. That's telling me this might be the end of this move down. We'll see. I don't know, right? I just trade my setups. So glad I missed this crude trade. That's wonderful that I missed that. Double size long too. All right, so we need to get another stop run in gold. So let's see what we got here. I'll short it again. Again, I'm bullish gold. Like, it looks very bullish, but these are my areas. It's pretty close. I'll take that. So if this fails, I'll go short again. So when we talked about in the webinar, this is one of my areas. All right, so this is my trading in the zone document. This is directly out of trading in the zone. I put my own stuff in there, but I get out as the market tags important areas. Right? I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. So that one was same day prior SI event, and it was real close to VWAP as well at the time. So that's why I put in the room. I said I'm getting out of some right here, and that's what I did. So came back, but I did get out at this prior event, and you can see that's right where it bounced. So if you tell me that these volume events don't have an effect on the market, then you're literally out of your mind. So again, I know from personally that it's the strongest thing that I've ever seen in futures trading, the best edge I've ever seen. But you cannot deny that these areas, that's what drives these markets. I say it all day, every day. So, all right, what do we got here in NASDAQ? So now we got more buy ice. So shockingly, they're coming in and buying everything now. Not surprising, right? It's just the sell-offs have been very short-lived for months. It's like these buyers just buy with every dip with reckless abandon. So if you are short, it's all we talk about in my room, you need to be ready to peel out you hit important areas that we just talked about. My important areas is what I do, because it's just bungee jumps every single time. So this looks like this is going to try to do it again. So we got that buy ice. Let's see where we're at. I already got my ES long working. That's close enough to the zone. Remember, these are zones. They're not exact prices. Pretty close. Buy ice. Huge move, straight move into this. It's also this. You can see this is where this buying, so you have this balance. This is where this held the other day. You put in a buying tail. Here we are again. These are the best Izzy trades when you get straight moves in there. So I will take an Izzy long off of this. So here's the issue now. I do not like entering my trades. You see the entry. I changed mine to yellow. You can put these whatever color you want if you get the zone drawing tool. I hate entering into prior events. We just watched gold bounce off a prior event. The odds of this, why? Because these traders that are in here are holding their breath. As it comes back into this, they say, oh, thank God, let me out, right? Because they are off sides. These buyers, so on and so forth, were off sides in this area, right? That's why this area is drawn. As it comes back there, these guys are like, oh, thank God, let me out. And then it causes another move back down. So that's why it doesn't have to, but it does most of the time. So that's why I don't like entering my trades there. So you got to make a decision here. Are you willing to move your stop almost 30 points? I mean, your entry almost 30 points to get out of this event, right? And then you're looking at another event right above here. So sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and enter in the zone, right? You got another event right here too. What are you going to do? You're going to move it. So your entry is supposed to be 96.75. You're going to move it all the way up to, you're going to move it up 60 points. All right, so now I don't have to, so my E, so here's for example. So I had this long working, right? It's disqualified, DQ'd. Why? Because it just tagged the ATR below. But here's another perfect example. Did you see how I didn't just jump in along because the buy ice at the lug to really huge buy ice at the lug, right? I'd be taking it on the chin right now. That's why I force it to get the ATR. So I would be crapping my pants right now if I got long, aggressive, it's not even aggressively, just jump in when you see the zone at an important area. This is why I wait for the certain conditions to take the long. So now this is a bearish setup. We go ATR retest confirm. I'm taking bark, lick, and a red rum, right? Because if it comes back here, that might not be red rum. Let's see. I'll take that. So that was pretty much 72-ish, 73. No, that's not a red rum, but I'd take barks and licks. But there's not a lot of lick down here is the problem. Yeah, that's good enough. I'll take the lick. So wait for that to happen. So I didn't jump it along here either yet, right? This has been nothing but buy ice. How are they doing? So this is a perfect example. Is paper's not always right. They're right, like I said, more often than they're wrong. But today they're not doing so well yet, right? Bought, no dice, bought, pain, right? And algo guys still bearish here, so I can put barks and licks on there. Perfect example. This is an important zone. Well, it hasn't got through yet. Another trade I can take here, another strategy, is fail balance breakout. This is, I mean, a lot's gone on since this, but that was balance. It's a very important area. But you can't, if I get another event a little below here, I can take a failed balance breakout trade. Guys, this is a perfect example of it. This is, I would have bet large sums of money just by eyeballing it that it would add some kind of bounce. It still may, but you had this high volume node. You had buying tail led to that. This is why you need, important areas are great, but you need the real-time stuff to tell you, okay, yeah, it's go time. So I did not go long. I had longs working. Those are canceled now. This is a bearish event. Barks and licks. It comes back. Actually, no lick, just bark. So I got to cancel all these orders that I had working here. Whatever happened with Russell, by the way. I really hope someone in my room took this long in CL. I mean, you may have got out at the red lug, but this is disturbing. I missed that. It's just par for the course. That's what happens when I'm on these webinars. I'm trying to show all these markets, then I miss trades, but it's fine. My pain is your gain. All right, so this is more buy ice now in NQ. You know, this sucks. Per my rules, I have not been able to participate in this move down, right? And that's fine. It's also saved me. I haven't put on any losing trades though, right? I haven't. How many people have gone long on these moves down? Like, oh my God, here it goes again. It's just going to bungee jump again. People are getting their heads ripped off. At least I haven't taken any longs per my rules, right? So yeah, it sucks. I love when I'm part of these moves. Who doesn't? Especially on the short side, but it just wasn't there. So we have another buy. We have another buy ice event. It's still in this Izzy zone. I'll still take an Izzy long. The problem is here now. I can't go short this. Remember, I was just waiting for barks and licks for that, or barks at least. I can't do that. Why? I still could do that. Why? Here's your ATR line. So there's a way I can still go short this guy, and this would not be a bullish event. If it touches that, then it's a bullish event, and I'm going to actually take an Izzy long, and I'm going to get outside the zone. So my entry is supposed to be there. So we'll put it at 56. 20656 for Izzy long. If not, I got barks and licks, or barks shorts I can take too. So I'm just waiting to see how these react. Questions, put them in. Let's see where we're at here in market profile. New lugs, yes. This is I lug you, potential in NASDAQ as well here, right? Buy ice, as long as it doesn't prove to be a bearish event, aka ATR. Now I'm going to take Izzy and I lug you longs in NASDAQ. And these are the best ones. This is a huge. How far is this move? 300 points? Let's see. Yeah. 300 point straight move into an inflection zone into a luck. I'm not saying it's going to hold, but I'm saying if this turns into a bullish event, it is a great odds trade. Great probability trade, I should say. That's what trading is. It's probabilities. Don't make me get into this rant. Straight out of trading in the zone. And Anything can happen. You don't need to know what, or do you know what's going to happen next in order to make money? There's a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. Random distribution. An edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. That's what trading is. It's not, this is for sure. Anyone who says that to you, you run the other way as far as an educator, and I'm using air quotes. So I'm going long. I lug you and Izzy at, I'm going to move, this is my entry. I'm moving in out of this zone. 26.56. But there's still ways I can go short too. We got to see what happens here. I have nothing on yet. I've not done a thing in NASDAQ today. So let's put that on. Oh, this is a pick too. So we got 3 different strategies. And when you get this confluence, those are the best trades too. So what do we have here? Look at this. I can't believe I didn't see this when I was just on this chart. But by the way, when markets get in market profile composites, what do you expect? The other side. There you go. Remember I said if this bounces, it's telling you something. If it gets inside, it's telling you something. Right to the other side. Actually, I probably could have taken a pick here. What was I doing up there? So I did miss a trade. I guarantee it. So this was an aggressive entry pick. We'll look here in a second so I can complain about this, but I'm almost positive I missed a trade here into this zone. Anyway, we got a volume event there. I'll take a pick long. I'll take an Izzy long and a slug long. Or I lug you into the lug. So let's see what I just blanked, guys. I guarantee this was a trade up here. So I could have been short this move. It's very upsetting. And I pointed out that market profile composite, which is even more upsetting. So the top of this thing. Top of this thing is 2,700. 20,700. Yeah. I should have been. I really hope my room caught this trade and said something. Guys, this is why I want my room and anybody else that's on these webinars, if you see it, to point it out, right? That was the entry right there. Pick entry, got in there. Here's your volume event, broken ice, broken double whammy, which is telling you something on top of it. You're in at 648. Aggressive, because that's into that market profile composite. And here you go. You got 50 plus points here. And I would be out of at least half right here. So I know this is shoulda, woulda, coulda, but I just missed the trade. I don't know what I talked about this exact area and I just didn't catch it. But you would have been in there. I'd be out right here. Especially, I'd probably be out of all of them right here, to tell you the truth. So it's 50 points. It's not a huge trade, but it's 50 points. So whether you miss that or not, do a screenshot of this. So the next time you see it, you're like, okay, yeah, that's the trade. I want to be in that trade. Actually, it's not even that. It's this one up here. And the beauty of this is you could remember. So this is exactly how I would have played this trade. Again, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But this is for learning purposes, obviously. Take that trade, aggressive at the yellow. Your stop's here. New event. You move your stop there. You could have stopped it right in the middle or moved it outside. New event. Control your stop to there or outside. That's where I'm going long. And then you could be out of all of them here at the blue lug. So that's 2 missed whoppers trade. That's not a whopper, but still a missed trade that I had on the webinar. So there you go. But learn from it. All right. So I got pick. Pick Izzy and I lug you long's working. I say 56. Yeah, 56. We got a Fed guy talking. We do. Yeah, we got a Fed guy talking, and so this long's probably going to be golden if I get filled because now we got a Fed clown coming out in 8 minutes to save the day, like they always do. Long's working. Not surprising it's bouncing off the log. I did not take that long right at the ice. I'm waiting for it to move out of there. All right, as far as this, ATR retest confirm, I can take shorts. And yes, we'll see what happens there. Let's see if you guys got any questions. didn't see what he said. Corin said, man, oh my god, it's been so long, miss you guys. Man, I got killed this week trading pullbacks and got wrecked. I don't know why I'm doing that. GC logs, thank you. Corin Storm, try not to use that type of language. I didn't see what he said. Consider joining the Big Map Discord community, might be helpful. Tom B is streaming next, a lot of traders' favorite. Yeah, or join this, what you're listening to, me. How about promoting me on my webinars, Demo Trader? That'd be cool. Corin Storm, Scott, anybody that comes through here that's new will double back 2 years later, realize what you're teaching is right now, dude. Exactly how you have been trading, unless you're a god. I don't know what that means, but yes, I've been doing the same thing for 7 years, guys. I've been doing Bookmap webinars for 7 years. The exact same stuff. We've changed a little bit, like the the entries as far as ATR, but this is the same stuff. You go back, watch the webinars from 7 years ago, and you're teaching the same stuff because it's what drives markets. If you learn the methods and are consistent, you will do fine. Is there room is in Espanol? No, it's not. You can ask questions in Spanish. There are people in there that speak Spanish, like Madam Shizzle. She'll help you out. Not constantly, but if you have an occasional question, I'm sure she can help you out. There's other people in there that speak Spanish. There's people from all over the world in the room. My developer's from France. Johan's from France. Let's see. Looks like you're rising. Act like, oh, you already asked that. Gave back 12 grand this week. All right. Well, I don't know what you're teaching is how you should be trading. Well, yeah, according to me, it's the guys. This is the whole reason I think you're on the webinar, right? You want to learn from my experience. I've been trading 25 years. I've made millions and millions of dollars over those years. Yeah, I'm not a $1 million trader anymore because I'm trading on my own, right? I had a firm backing me. Actually, we have a firm now backing this exact trade that you just saw, this ATR trade, where it comes back to the zone. We have 2 different trades that we're doing in the room, right? I'm digressing here, but we have the position trading. We've been going over those position trades the whole day where we're looking for bigger moves. Then we have the reversion trade. So you get the spreadsheet. So that leads me into this. You can trade if you like scalping, trading back to these zones. And how many have we seen come back to the zone today? Like 20 of them already, right? Back to the zone, back to the zone, back to the zone. Bounce off a prior event, back to the zone. So you can trade that way if you're more of a scalper type mentality, or you can go for the bigger moves, the position trading. I used to be a huge scalper, and I now favor position trading because I'm just too old mentally. I don't need to. I just don't want to be in and out all day long. I want to take my position trading, look for the bigger move. Anyway, you can get all of this. This is what this is. So here's your zone drawing tool, right? You get that where you don't have to draw your zones, and you'll get the beta version right now. Here's my course. This explains everything that I'm doing, right? You can get it on the Bookmap Marketplace, or you can get it at my website. I'm about to get filled in NASDAQ long, by the way. So this covers everything I'm talking about: the thresholds, the settings, the subchart settings, the on-chart settings, the sweeps indicator settings, how to draw the zones. You have the zone drawer now, but you still need this information because sometimes there are back-to-back events that the zone doesn't draw. You got to draw it manually, so on and so forth. So that's a progression too, how we used to do it and how it got more exact. Then here are all my setups: the Dumb and Dumber, the Stop and Hold, Titanic, Broken Ice. So we saw double whammy that broke, actually. And I talk about this in the course too. This was in the NQ. This was telling you something that this broke, right? This was inherently a bullish setup. Without getting the ATR out of there. So these are all the setups, and then how to use ATR, the advanced trading of zones, and then my smiling face at the end. So that's the course. So you can learn without the course, but it's going to take you a long time, right? Because I'm trading live, like right now, I'm trading live in my webinars. I don't have time to go over the basics every day. So if you want to fast track it, get the course. For trading terms, this is not a lot of money for the course trading terms, right? Like it's really not. It's a couple contracts, like a few points on an ES contract. It's not, especially what other educators, and I'm doing air quotes again, what they're charging. I'm seeing like $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 for nonsense. That's why, again, you're listening to me, because I actually have been in these markets for 25 years, right? So I'm not saying everything that I do is perfectly right, and I'm not saying I know it all. I'm ready, always ready to adapt, because you always have to adapt. But what I'm saying is, I've seen a lot, and you can, instead of you having to go through, this is a rare occurrence here. I need to be short here right now, by the way. Hold on, I'm being sarcastic as far as rare occurrence. Hold on. So I could put on 6 right here. I'm missing this trade. There was no lick down here though, right? Yeah, there's a little. I'll put on a lick trade too. Hold on here. All right, so this, guys, this is the pattern. It's all these markets do. ATR, retest, confirm. ATR, come back to the zone. Come back to the zone. Come back to the zone. There's a trade for that. There's a trade for that. There's a trade for that. There's a trade for this. There's a trade for this. There's a trade for this. It's just trading these same patterns, guys. These markets react to these volume events like you've never seen. And if you spend any time watching this, you will 100% agree. Just get Bookmap and watch it for a couple weeks, and you tell me, right? You don't have to listen to me. Get the replays, run the days, replay the days back, and you will. In the zone drawer, actually draws the zones on replay days, and you can see for yourself. If you don't want to believe me, watch it for yourself. It's unbelievable. Let's see what's going on here. Was there something else here I was going to short? And was this? No, it wasn't a pick. This may have been a return Izzy. Let's see here. No Izzy here either. So I just got bark and lick on short ATR retest. I don't think I filled in this NASDAQ long, and I'm going to show you exactly why. Because I got it outside of that zone. Let's see what happened. This guy's. So why did I put it outside this zone? Why did I not? I wouldn't have filled anyway. But this is why I move it out of that zone. Because this happens. These guys that just got run over are holding their breath. Please let me out. Please let me out. Oh, thank God. And then that causes the next wave down, right? We have, this is an A plus ATR, by the way. My room took this one. Please tell me someone took this. Here's your one ATR entry in a prior event, A plus. This is what we have working. We just started running this at the trading firm, and it's killing it. So I had a trading firm backing this strategy because I cannot take these trades by hand, right? Because I'm on webinars, so on and so forth. This was an A plus 3 ATR reversion earlier. We already went over this. So my room better be catching these things. That's all I got to tell you, or you're going to all be in the doghouse. So that was 3 ATR. There's your entry right there. Stop was way down here. So the dotted lines, this is all part of the zone drawing too, guys. This is huge things to have for the zone drawing tool. Like, this is the pro version, but you all get access to the pro. But anyway, work like a charm. That one worked like a charm too. So I never got filled on that long. And I'm short a yes. So we'll see what happens here. You can see Mag 7 still getting smoked. That's why this market's having a hard time bouncing right now. Speaking of which, let's look at... so the tick is hanging below 0, and it's hitting... I'm sorry, take that back. No, it's not hanging below 0. So this is... this is why, like, YM's ripping off the page and Russell's ripping off the page, and the other markets are like selling off. Like, the overall market is not really getting hit today yet. You can tell that by the tick, right? The tick is barely getting below 0. What does that mean? Not much. The market's Nasdaq's gotten absolutely crushed, right? But the point is, there's kind of some, this is why Russell is looking like this today, and YM. Let's see what YM looks like. YM's been a good market to trade lately. There's some awesome trades in there. Like, look at this. It looks like opposite, right? This is near its highs, and Nasdaq's getting smushed. So YM is more indicative. This is the NYSE tick. This is why this looks like this, because YM is actually very bullish today. Same with RTY. So there's just mixed signals here. Something's going to give eventually, but right now it's conflicting. Anyway, Russell, I would take a long ATR retest. There's nothing there yet. All right, so quickly, we'll go over these while we're waiting for stuff to happen here. I'm already short a yes. We'll see what happens there. If it starts rolling down, some areas I will get short at. We'll get out of some of these. Remember, because I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. I see nothing on market profile composite. So there's nothing for me to get out unless it came all the way down here. You could trade these individual value area days, these areas. Get out of some, that's fine. But my main area here is blue lug. They're probably 12 points away. So if it gets to blue lug, I will probably get out of all of them. Depending, I'll judge as it gets down there, if it gets down there. And then you also got a Izzy zone coming up here too. So I would definitely watch Blue Lug Izzy zone to get out of this short. You can see they're still hammering this. All right, let's cover the rest of this stuff real quick, guys. I know I go over this every week, but there's always new traders on here. So, so that's that. That's the course. Here, if you can't get in the trade room, you can get the spreadsheet. You can get the inflection zone, the Izzy areas, Izzy zones that we were talking about all webinar. Here's my website. Here's my email. If you got questions, here's the Twitter. I've been posting lately as well as I can. I didn't post yesterday. I caught a YM long into the close that some of the traders in my room caught as well. Trade of the day, right? So I've been putting this in. If you want to follow this, this is exactly what I talk about. Here's my important areas, right? Took ZB shorts. I've put in pretty much different markets nonstop, right? This was GC. This was YM and RTY. This was ZB. This was YM again. This was NQ, right? So you get the point. And I put in exactly here's the volume event. Here's the area. This is what I was looking at. Here's an Izzy zone. This was a market profile combined. This was a pick trade, right? And then I have the red as I'm entering. The blue is where I get out. People get all confused. Like, there's nothing confusing about this if you actually read it, right? It's pretty straightforward. This was the volume event. This was the area. This is where I got out of some, and then I say where I got out of the rest. Look at that trade. How's that? Right to the blue lug. Well, I can't believe that bounced off there like that. Being sarcastic. So anyway, if you can't get in the room, you can get the zone drawing tool and the spreadsheet and the Izzy zones. And then here's my trade room, right? You have different options here. You got the monthly, the quarterly, the yearly. If you come in, you get discounts off my courses and mentoring if you want to mentor with me. And then this is all discounts to the stuff I use. So Bookmap, click on that. You get discounts to the Global Plus. You want Global Plus because it's got the sweeps indicator and everything else. This is the MBO bundle, so you have to have this to get the iceberg information. If you don't have this, you don't have anything, and you're wasting your time trading, in my opinion, let alone in my room, because this is all I teach, right? So when you get this, you got it. You have to get the thing that powers it. So this is, I don't have Rhythmic on here, but hold on. So if you go here to data, Rhythmic is the data provider for this MBO data, right? So go to market data. And then what you want to do is, if you want to trade all these different products, which I highly recommend because you get opportunities across the board instead of just staring at crappy ES all day or NQ, you get opportunities. Pick the bundle instead of getting these individually, right? If I got these individually, then I have to pay 40, 80. See the difference, right? So pick the bundle, you save money, and then pro, or if you're pro or non-pro. Most of you guys are non-pros. So that's that. Apex, this is what I use for these trading strategies. So I'm not going to get into the whole, I used to trade my personal accounts on these, and they're not even really big accounts. And I would make mistakes, leave orders in, get crushed. So I started to use Apex, and you should be using Apex anyway or something like it. This is the one that I put my name behind because it allows you to work on your trading without risking your own money. And then if you get funded, then you're funded. You don't have to risk your own money anyway, right? So the ones I was doing, mostly the 150s, but then I switched to the 250s because they had a deal. If you use this code, Pulcini 50, you get 80. Right now it's 80% off, but any sale they have at the time, Pulcini 50 works, right? So and then the goal is here, you want to make the profit goal before you lose. You want to make, for this one, you want to make you need to make $9 grand. I love when it runs off the page. Here's this one. You got to make 15 grand. I think 150 is the best risk reward, but you got to make the profit before you lose the threshold. And it's trailing. That's what makes it hard, because when it starts to trail, you could be up, you could be profitable when it pulls back, and then you blow out of it. So highly, highly, highly recommended if you have a small account, where you can't trade big anyway, or if you're risking your living expense money, do not do that. You are not going to win. You're not going to be a profitable trader if you cannot lose. Please take it from me. That goes for gambling and trading. If you can't lose, you're going to lose. 100%. 100%. So anyway, and then again, if you want to practice, I wouldn't come in my room and just start flipping a real account. Get one of those, practice, not a game, practice. You get good at it, then you can flip to your own account. If not, if you do get well at it, you're backed anyway. So it's a no-brainer to me. Spot Gamma, We didn't read his stuff today. The commentary basically just says that his stuff has moved higher, so that's bullish for right now. But awesome, and then you get the Hero 2. You get 2 weeks free of that if you put the code word Scott in. All right, what's going on here? Is my ES trade closing in on my? Yeah, so this is working. Never got filled NASDAQ. That's good. And short here. And we're getting close. Hopefully I don't jinx it. Every time I start talking about the thing, it bounces. It's not quite here yet. It is into this Izzy zone. But this is how you can judge. Like, look at, and this is tick strike. That's another thing in here. Right? Get that. We'll go over the rest of these here before I get off here. I got a couple more minutes. So this is getting real close to this lug. So I'm not messing around here. I'm going to hop out of these on the next swipe down. I can use this stuff to judge. This and market pulse. So let's keep an eye on this. Where you at, ES? I don't have market pulse working here. Let's turn that on. All right, I'm just going to... I told you I was going to jinx it. Hold on. Let's see what market pulse looks like here. I usually turn it on sound-wise. See how there's no real selling coming in at market pulse? That's telling me that there's not a lot of engagement or the sellers aren't winning right here. So I'm going to be very quick to hop out of these. I'm going to give this another second. Real close. Guys, I don't need to squeeze out an extra like 2 points. I'm out. Good enough for me, right? You got a spot gamma level here as well. You got an Izzy zone. You got the blue lug. Didn't quite get there. And the overall market is not really doing much to the downside. So this very well could be the end of the move. And I would love to get a bullish event. Hero is still on its lows. But what I was saying with the spot gamma, you get this too. Like, look at this. This is why he has one, not 100% why. This is one player. These options dealers are crushing. They're unloading their futures, and that's what's helping this move. So here we go. Now I'm starting to struggle here. So I'm out of that short. That was, wasn't a huge trade, but it was a winner. Any trade in here, any short in here is like you need to pat yourself on the back because it's so damn hard to make money on the short side. So see what I mean? Like this was close enough. I don't need an exact touch of the lug. That is good enough. Doesn't mean it can't blow through here. Fine. If it does, we get new lugs, we get new events. Right back to my routine. All right, quickly. Spot gamma, I was telling you, you get the Hero and his commentary, which is invaluable. Use Scott, you get 2 free weeks. Tick strike, get a discount to everything on here. You get a discount. Just click on that. Market pulse is tick strike on steroids, but I still like this because it alerts me into stuff. Like I can hear it, and then I use market pulse more so for my actual trades. But I just like to know what's going on here. You can judge it. You get to important areas. If this thing's going ape shit, as my Grandpa Chooch used to say, that you can hold on to the trade. I like to quote Grandpa Chooch as much as I can. He's the one who got me into trading back when I was 15 years old. Ludwig levels. I don't know if I've mentioned these before. They're pretty powerful. I'm being sarcastic. So go to our website. For some reason the website's not working on my end. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Put your name in here. Get the 3-day trial. Say you saw it on the Bookmap webinar. You get special pricing for that. And then here's my reviews. All of them are good except for one jackass who was mad because I told him he was an idiot because he couldn't figure out how to cancel the room. So he didn't like that. He was being very rude. So that's why I trust me, guys. If you go to cancel, I don't call you an idiot. But he was just being a real jackass. So I let him have it. And then he gave me a bad review, and that's fine. It has nothing to do with the trading. He just got his feelings hurt. So, all right. Any other questions before I hop off here? Let's see. All right, so Corwin, before I even start reading this is why you're not doing well. Are they loading up for a huge break later in the week or month above 21,000? I don't get it. You're never going to know. Like, what? Why are you wasting your brain power trying to guess what they are going to do? This is why you're struggling. Trade what you see on the chart. I'm showing you the best edge available in the history of the world of futures trading, in my opinion. Trade what you see. I don't care what they're doing. I don't want to know what they're doing. Fine. I know someone bought here. How did that work out for him? Not good. I know how to trade this area and take advantage of it, right? Stop trying to figure out what they're going to do. Who gives a shit? Pardon my language. This is why you're losing. I'm telling you right now. Nickel, on that example, are the large long, this is the same thing. Are the large long icebergs at the zone exiting their positions are break even when it returns back, when they are long, so there's going to be hidden iceberg selling? No idea. Nick, unless you are the person doing this or a guy sitting next to them, you have absolutely no idea what they're doing here, why they're buying 3,000 contracts. Why waste your brain power wondering what they're doing, what they're going to do, so on and so forth. I know this area is very important because somebody is going to be really right. Somebody's going to be really wrong. In this case, whoever bought 3,000, you just have to assume they're initiating positions. They could have been getting out. I don't care. I know how these markets react to these areas, and I take advantage of them. That's all you need to know. Stop confusing yourself. Stop wasting your time unless you are sitting next to the guy or you know God or you are God. You're not going to know why they're doing what they're doing. So stop wasting your time. Know how the markets react to these areas. That's all I can tell you. Until you guys stop trying to guess what is going to happen, right back to the trading in the zone rant, you're never going to make money trading. I can promise you. You don't need to know, and then I added this, so this is out of Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. I wrote, or do you know what is going to happen next in order to make money? Stop wasting your time. That's all I can tell you guys. What's the saying? You can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. I am showing you the water. Drink it. Drink it. I don't know how else to say it. Again, you're on here, I would think, because I have experience, a lot of experience. I've made millions of dollars of trading order flow. I know order flow. I know it is the end-all be-all of trading, right? So just please check it out for yourself. Stop trying to predict stuff, though, or understand why guys are doing what they're doing. You're never going to know. How do I feel about Market Pulse feature? I absolutely love Market Pulse. This is this stuff. This is, like I just said, this is Tick Strike. They built Market Pulse for me. I asked them to build Market Pulse like 3 years ago because I like Tick Strike, but I knew it could be enhanced greatly. And they did it. And now they've just run with it. Now you have all these different algos. It's incredible. It's awesome, right? You got volume pressure. This is what I mean. Like this is here. You got pace of tape. We've been looking at that more. You've got sweeps pressure, stops pressure, price change. Price change alone is incredible. Google Bruce from Bookmap price change. It's on my YouTube channel too, I think. Or it's on my Twitter. But go, all these, they're incredible. 100%. It's the next best thing next to the SI stuff. SI is king, but Market Pulse is really important too. And then obviously Ludwig levels are the second most important thing I've ever seen in my life. Quick question. Do you recommend one or two strikes out of the money? As far as what? What does that mean? I'm not trading options, guys. I'm trading futures. So I'm not I don't know what that means. Some delayed double whammy happening. Yes, blue lug level. Yes. So, all right, guys, that's the trade. I'm out. It could blow right through here. So you saw a couple of examples on why I don't enter zones. I probably wouldn't have been filled on this anyway, but it still bounced off of that zone, right? And again, that was a trade. And this market just keeps heading lower. There's another example of this can't go any lower. This can't go. They're gonna buy this eventually. I'm just gonna get long at these areas blindly. No. Maybe yes. If I get a volume, I'll take it. I need the volume event. That is what's happening right now. This stuff is in the past. Yes, it's important, right? But it's not. And I could have taken this trade too. What the hell am I doing today? This is I think I even talked about this. Okay, guys, it's hard when I'm on these webinars, but that's a failed balance breakout. So that's this one here. I hope my room's catching these because I'm not. Honking my nose today is what I'm doing right here. This is trading strategy FBB. Failed balance breakout. Failed break of longer term balance where the market travels back through the balance area, high volume node. I got to hop off here because I get yelled at if I go too long, but that's this trade. I just missed it. So we missed a couple. Remember, I missed the pick. So I missed the pick entry, short, aggressive entry, and I missed this one. The first volume event through this high volume node, I should have been short there too. There's another 50 plus points. So that sucks. But you guys get the gist. You know, whether you come in my room or not, I do this every day. That's what I'm doing here. So don't come in my room or send me an email asking for free trials. This is the trial. Okay, there's no free trials in my room because there's so much information once you get in there. This is the trial. This is what you see is what I do every single day in my trading room, twice a day, most days if the afternoon is actually working out. All right. So anyway, this is what I do, guys. Highly recommend you learn this stuff if you're trading. It's the end all be all in my opinion. All right, I'm out. Have a great week. I will see you guys next